Steve Austin, The Undertaker, and John Cena are booked for WrestleMania 40. Plus, a TNA gimmick match is returning. And we have an update on an absent AEW star. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. 3 hefty names heading to be part of WrestleMania 40. Andrew, tell us more.
So this comes from the Wrestling Observer, and they say Steve Austin, Undertaker, and John Cena will have something at WrestleMania in some form. At press time, there is no creative locked in for Cena and Austin at this moment, or if there is, it's a well-guarded secret.
Now, a lot of it depends on how much they are willing to do and, of course, money. Cena is free, but depending on what acting stuff he has and how quick after he's filming will determine how much he can or can't do for insurance purposes. Austin and Undertaker, it would be based on willingness that they have. Now, Steve Austin has been known to have a few videos shared online of him training.
Yes.
More often than not lately, it's been stuff with his cat Poncho. Big fan of Poncho. Here I am with my cat Poncho. Spent the 90s raising hell and drinking beer. Here's my cat. Love my cat. Oh, Poncho at WrestleMania 40, to be honest with you.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
It'd be beautiful, that would be, him running off the bloodline. But there's lots of diverging stories through wrestling past
Yes.
that, if you so chose, you could have The Undertaker, Steve Austin, or John Cena involved in, right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, like, I guess within sort of the current, because if it does go through, if Rock and Roman win night 1 at WrestleMania in the tag match, and it goes on to be Bloodline Rules in night 2, therefore maybe it's like a no DQ match, people can get involved, right? And John Cena obviously was part of Roman's sort of current reign as champion. He got beaten by Roman Reigns. The Rock and Steve Austin have storied history as well. They could get involved, as you said. Maybe not Poncho, but maybe Steve Austin comes in to help run the bloodline off. And as for Undertaker too, maybe, I guess, not within the bloodline stuff,
with
but
Roman.
he did get beaten by Roman at WrestleMania. So that could obviously lend itself to that as well. But I can see Cena, getting in there, hitting an FU and getting out of there. An attitude adjustment, sorry.
Yeah, there's this. Then we've had Cena pop up before and have some fun at WrestleMania. I think many years back it was with Elias.
Yes.
We had Dr. Thugonomics for one night,
which was cool.
night only, which was really nice. We've had Undertaker popping up in capacities before. We had Steve Austin come out, and I think it was beat up at the team at the time of Sheamus and Rusev.
Oh yeah.
Like the whatever they were, that team. You know them. Them. He beat them up before. So I like it when they pop them, and there's a nice vibe at the moment where there is more emphasis on pushing the stars coming forward, the present and the future.
Yes.
But no reason why at WrestleMania 40 we can't nod to the past. And
It's a nice, they often tend to do that as well, don't they? Nod to the past a
Yeah.
little bit at least anyway. So as long as it doesn't take
Sprinkling.
away from the proper stuff that's going on, if it sort of enhances it, then I'm all for it.
Exactly. WrestleMania on the horizon, as is WrestleMania week, which will see Super Card of Honor, and a title match has been added to that card for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, so the finals of the tournament to crown the new champion, the new Ring of Honor TV Women's Champion, that is, has been set, and it will be between Queen Aminata and Billy Starks.
I feel like Billy Starks is the obvious one here.
I feel like she is as well. However, I wouldn't be opposed if they do put it on Queen Aminata either.
If Queen gets it, it's probably going to be because maybe Athena gets involved
Yeah.
and costs her minion the match.
It could very well be.
Maybe, because that's a lovely story that we can come back to with Athena and Billy Starks.
Yes.
So maybe this is how we tell it. Maybe. We'll watch that one. Also confirmed for Super Card of Honor on Friday, April the 5th is the ROH Women's title with Athena defending against Hikaru Shida, and the world title, Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe. Slowly but surely, Super Card of Honor is shaping up rather nicely.
Yes.
As is TNA's next event, Rebellion, and a title match has just been added to that last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it will see Mustafa Ali defending the X Division Championship against the winner of last night's SixPack Scramble, which was Jake something. The match also saw action from Kevin Knight, Jason Hotch, Alan Angels, and of course, North champion himself, Leon Slater.
Get in! Oh,
Very
I was
cool.
bursting with pride seeing Slater on Impact last night.
Yes.
That's our boy! way from North Wrestling. Come on, Leon. Come on, Leon. Big fan. Also last night, they announced that Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian, these two TNA originals, are fighting in a Full Metal Mayhem match. This is their sort of TLC adjacent gimmick, and that'll take place at Rebellion, along with the TNA tag title match between The System and Speedball Mountain.
Oh my god.
And the TNA World title with Moose against Nick Nemeth.
It really is shaping up, isn't it? It's a bloody lovely... There's a lot of wrestling around WrestleMania weekend. However, it's usually all very, very good.
It certainly is, mon frere. We're also seeing the return of a gimmick match from TNA next week on Impact.
Yes, we are. We're going to see the 8-4-1 match return. So it was pioneered against all odds last year. The match starts as an eight-person tag, and then the winning team then compete in a fatal four-way scheduled for a 1 fall. And this time, the match will be there to determine a top contender for the Knockouts World title as well.
So
which is cool.
Jordan Grace will find out who her next challenger is in an 8-4-1 match. Now, TNA have a history of silly gimmickry.
They do indeed.
And we love them for it. Very loyal TNA. I think the 8-4-1 match is actually a really nice premise.
I think it makes sense in my mind in terms of like these people have to work together to then get to the next stage, and then they just all beat up each other.
Brilliant.
I think it's quite a cool concept.
Real simple concept, works very effectively as well. We'll end on some news about an absent AEW star. So a lot of people asking, where's BCC in Tag Team Eliminator? You silly billies, they beat FTR recently. Why aren't they in the match? Well, the Observer says that everyone is asking about the whereabouts of Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli in this tournament, and originally they were planned to be a part of it. Their name was in the mix for the tournament. However, Moxley's been pretty banged up, and he has dates in Mexico and Japan over the next few weeks. So in order to give him a bit of respite, he was taken out. Fightful Selects somewhat corroborate this by saying that this is part of some planned time off for Moxley. So it is, again, like if he's got a lot of big bookings coming up, it gives him a little bit of room to breathe.
Yeah, of course. And then they can always just come back round to it eventually anyway, can't they? They can be like, well, we did beat FTR, so hello, here we are. Let's get into it now.
We did beat FTR. Hello, here we are.
It writes itself, doesn't it?
It does.
Writes itself.
It means that there's opportunity for other tag teams to shine. That's why we've seen a good run for the Infantry, which is really nice to see. So, and as you say, they'll come back round and they'll get back straight to it whenever they're ready. On the podcast feed this weekend, it's all about the roads to WrestleMania, the second part of our Cultaholic Wrestling deep dive into the story of Cody Rhodes. And by that, we mean deep. You can check out episode 1 right now, which talks about his first WWE run and how it all ended before he headed out to seek his fortune. And this one that's coming up on Sunday on the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast feed is all about the wilderness years.
Oh, in the woods. Naked.
Naked as the day he was born. Even Pharaoh. That's what we talk about for 2.5 hours. But we go right into his time through Ring of Honor, his brief appearance in TNA, and we get Jack the Jobber in to talk about Cody Rhodes in WCPW.
Exciting.
So if you've never heard the story of Cody Rhodes going to Rise in Newcastle,
which I haven't, it's a tremendous story. So if you haven't heard it, you should definitely go and listen to this podcast.
It's a good story. It's a nice set. You'll hear it on the podcast feed on Sunday. And if you're a Patreon, you can watch the video version at patreon.com/Cultaholic. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can ask Pancho or check out cultaholic.com. Kiss, kiss.
Love you, bye.